to the next group after you. We have to do the work. We have to stay linked. We have to continue to do work like this. Repeat after me. I'm a link in this chain. And it won't break here. I'm a link in this chain. And it won't break here. We are links in this chain. And we won't break here.
I'm speaking on behalf of my son, Jordan. I've been here a couple times, but this is Jordan's first time. I wanted him to come because I want to start a foundation of him understanding what black manhood or what black brotherhood is. And that is his duty when he becomes a man, that he got to be in this community. He got to help out. He got to help our brothers. All right, and whatever he does, whatever success he makes, it comes back into this community. Absolutely. And so I want to get that started right now.
Also known as Chiwara Ochosi. I am a singer-songwriter, a father, retired, freedom fighter, nationalist, Pan-African, man God, as well as a God man. I'm from Jamaica, travel the world, love my people, fighting still without weapons of mass destruction. So I'm just here to see what's going on and see how we can become stronger, you know? So, positive.
Welcome, brother.
My name's Anthony. This is my first time here. I'm currently working, just work at Chick-fil-A. And I was brought here by a friend that's in the next room over. And it's just so good to be around in a group like this because I feel like we as black men and even the younger men, we need this encouragement, this support right here. You know, we go through things and sometimes we don't have nobody that we can talk to or nobody that we can lean on. So just seeing a group like this, it just makes me proud to even be here.
Ready to get it cracking? We're going to talk to these graduates about their experiences and share with where they're going, what they're doing. This, by the way, let me say this. This past, what day was that? Thursday? So Thursday, Let Us Make Man, who is a partner organization with Black Man Lab, Let Us Make Man had their annual gala, scholarship gala. So scholarships were provided to Baba. How many kids did we provide scholarships for? So 60 scholarships that night, and waiting on another 15. So also within that, they gave out awards. One of the awards that they gave out was Community Impact Award, organization with the highest community impact. And guess who got that? Black Man Lab. And here's what I'll tell you, that award is not about any one individual in the organization. It's not about me, it's not about Mauli, it's not about our board, it's not about Quaylen, it's not about Jay, it's about all of us doing this work together, right? So when I accepted that award, I accepted it on behalf of you all, because everybody that comes in this room is about building for the future, and that's what the Black Man Lab is about. So if you believe in that as a black man, bring other black men in this space, okay? We don't have no hang-ups. We don't care what your background is. We just want you in here because we know that if we're together and we're building together, then great things can happen. Do you all believe in that? All right, okay. Bet. So let's get this conversation started. What we would like to do is, young men, if you could give an introduction of yourself, tell, where you went to school, your name, where you went to school, if you're going to school after now that you're graduating, and just kind of a little bit about you, and then we'll get into a little bit more in-depth conversation.
My name is DeJuan Wilson. I go to Woodlawn High School. and I currently plan to go to college at Indiana Tech.
My name is Brian Park II. I'm currently attending Tamusana Kiyama Preparatory Academy of Creative Arts and Media Technology, TSK Prep for short, and I'm planning to attend SCAD in Savannah.
Hi, my name is Joshua Roberts. I currently attend Woodland High School, and I plan on attending FAMU afterwards.
My name is Solomon Washington. I go to Arabian Mountain High School in Lithonia, and I'm going to Tuskegee in the fall, major in finance.
My name is Caleb Roberts. I also attend Woodland High School, and in the fall, I'll be attending Alabama A&M on an academic and track and field scholarship.
It's just a shot in the dark, but y'all twins?
Yeah.
It's a shot in the dark. Okay, so one going to Alabama A&M, the other going to FAMU. Okay, okay, all right. Give these brothers a round of applause, man.
Pretty much with me, we spent, I think the most was like a week, maybe 2 weeks apart from each other, but yeah.
What has been the toughest challenge for you? What has been the toughest challenge in this last year?
For me, the toughest challenge was just, my brother and my dad like to say, is finishing the drill. So you've already built the foundation and you're close to the end, and it's always feels easy to just coast into the end. But the biggest challenge is working all the way through to my last assignment. So
I would say the same. My biggest challenge was because I pretty much did everything I needed to do, and so I know I can pull up at the end sometimes. So try not to pull up before I finish the drill.
just making sure I stay focused on not even graduating, but the next level. So making sure I have a foundation for what I have in my future.
Scheduling, I've had a full schedule since junior year, since the beginning of junior year to now. So scheduling and time management.
Trying not to like fall behind, cause like you graduate in high school, so it's like yeah, you can have fun now. You ain't got school, but you still got to do what you got to do to move on with your life.
All right. So, because we heard you all are going to different institutions, I want to know, how did you decide what that next step for you was going to be?
Indiana Tech, it was really their academics and their track and field program. Because when I was talking to the track and field coach, he was telling me about their academics and how it can help me dealing with cybersecurity and what I want to do. And it's also a nice program out there where it's going to offer me internship after my first year there. And that's really it for it.
I originally wanted to get really far away from Georgia. So my original ones were all the way up North Carolina. But that was when I was unmajored. When I chose my major, which is film, I more looked into the structural aspect of what is needed to be good in that industry. And that's where I came across SCAD. And then the Savannah campus was just far enough away for me to be close, but not too close.
For me, it was about opportunity and efficiency. So with my major is pharmacy, and usually that's 8 or longer. But with FAMU, I'm able to get in maybe 6.5 to 7 years, and then just networking. And they have different groups there at FAMU that can help me not uplift my academics, but also my social stature.
For me, it was opportunities and a family environment. It's not that far. Tuskegee told me they have job fairs per year for every major in the school. And what's the point of going to college if you're not gonna get no job after? And I'm trying to have my career set before I even leave college. And they said they could do that for me if I put the work in. And they slid the most scholarship money.
For me, I mean, first, I wanted to be at an HBCU regardless of the school I went to, just to be around people that look like me, think like me, learn like me. And it was between Alabama A&M and TSU for me at first. And I visited both schools, and I felt like Alabama A&M would have given me the best opportunities to not just get the academic social in the social part, but networking and building lifelong relationships after I graduate college.
So now let's get to the deeper questions. So, how has it been? Actually, I don't want to project that on you. Have girls been a distraction? Oh, here we get to the meat of it.
Not
To
really.
the meat of it. So, two questions. One, we'll stay with that for now, and then we'll open it up.
Girls really haven't been a distraction because really, you shouldn't, at the end of the day, you shouldn't be focusing y'all all on a girl if you know you got stuff to do at the end of the day.
Nope. To be honest, I just got my first official girlfriend after about a week before my senior prom. So, yeah.
They haven't been much of a problem. They come and go in and out of our lives, but at the end of the day, as long as I have what I need to do to get myself to the next level, I'm good.
They haven't been an issue. Obviously, you get attached a little bit, but they haven't been an issue. You gotta keep the main thing. But I mean, everybody gets caught up a little bit.
For me, I wouldn't say they were a distraction. I mean, of course, as a young man, you're gonna be interested in women, but my parents did a good job at a young age of teaching me and my brother, set your priorities straight first. So if you're always focused on your priorities, it's kind of hard to get distracted on your main goal.
Okay. You said you had a part two? You had a part two?
Yeah, I had part two. So, did anybody make money on scholarships? Because sometimes we think about scholarship and going to school, and now they're gonna pay for my education. But I've read, and I know some people who have actually, once they signed their letter, they actually got a check, like they started making money. So did anybody make money academically? And then, are you all utilizing the NIL?
As of now, I haven't made any money, but I've spoken with someone recently about starting a Black Men's Run YouTube channel and Instagram page, kind of just promoting running and being athletic as a Black man. And it has an opportunity to make money. We just have to start it, build it, and stay consistent with it. So that's my plan going into this freshman year.
Outside of my merit scholarship, I've made about $2,500 from all typing essays and stuff, including from Black Man Lab. And this summer I'm trying to start a YouTube channel because I'm a drummer, and I think that's what I'm most gifted at. So I'm trying to start a YouTube channel with that and get some money off that.
I'm not sure if I've made any yet, but there's definitely been a lot with scholarships. And then, of course, with my brother with the Black Men Run organization, there's potential money to come from that. But with the NILs, if I'm able to get as many NILs or any opportunities I can, of course, I'm going to take that opportunity.
If I'm understanding, when you say made money, you mean like outside scholarships, or?
Scholarship covers your room, your tuition, your board, your education for the year. Then there's a surplus.
Okay, so currently, no. Any money I've made have been through my own personal outside interests that I've worked on.
I definitely haven't made any money off scholarships, but dealing with NIL, I've talked to my coaches about it, and my coach at Indiana Tech, he's been discussing about it, and it's definitely a possibility for me to make money.
Okay. So, you mind if I ask one more question, then we can open up to the audience? All right, so I want to know, because when I first went to college, I was kind of like y'all. I was like, I'm gonna move away. I don't even want to be in Georgia. I ended up staying in the state, but I'm interested in knowing what are some of the things that you're most looking forward to in this next chapter of your life.
Great question.
Me personally, I say it's running on the collegiate level and running against D1 schools and seeing how I can get myself out there.
Hands-on experience in building my current skills.
Networking opportunities, just meeting different people and joining different organizations, and then seeing how how productive I can be during 1 year.
Networking and starting my career by sophomore year. I want to know what I do way before I leave.
Networking, but also basically starting a new chapter in my life. I won't have the resources I had here at home, so I kind of have to build that from scratch. And I'm excited to see how far basically my spoken word can take me and build, and what relationships I can build with who I am now. Interactions I've had like that, I kind of just understand as a young black male, the system is not made for us to succeed, and we're still fighting to this day to get the same treatment that other young students get just because of the color of our skin and our background. So I just try to keep my head on straight and focus on what I have to do regardless of how someone is treating me, and just not engaging, because a lot of the time it's for attention, and if you give them the attention, they'll take it a long way.
I would say the most important is do your work. If you do all your work and don't missing assignments on time, it's impossible for them to fail you. Because how do you explain to your advisor, whoever's ahead of them, how is he failing if he's done all his work? Unless you're getting 30s or something. But how do you explain if he has all his work turned in? And I would suggest just be quiet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying be a yes man, but sometimes you just gotta sit back and take your L sometimes and just do your work, because they can't say too much if you do your work and you stay quiet. That's all they want at the end of the day. And sometimes they do want attention too, but you just do your work, because it's impossible for you to fail if you just do your work.
I would say try your best to communicate with them to see where they're coming from and why they have this opinion on you or why they're targeting you. And if you are able to compromise or work something out, then I'd be like, I feel like that's the best plan to do it. Also, do your work, and after communicating and do your work, if they still do it, tell somebody that has more power to you that's able to fix that situation and make it the best at its abilities.
I'm going to agree with what he said. Compromise is going to be a really big thing with that. Also, have a good friend group, because at one point in time, they're going to piss you off to the point where you want to just badmouth them. And it's better to badmouth them to your friends while ignoring them than to badmouth them to some random person who might end up go back and telling the teacher and makes a much worse situation than you originally had.
Going off what Caleb said, really just don't feed into it, because the more you feed into it, it's like the more energy they're going to have to be like, oh, he's getting annoyed, I can keep messing with him. And then on top of that, if you have an A in the class and do your work, and be like, how does this kid keep passing? I'm trying everything and I have my best to fail him, and he just keep doing it. So really just do your work and ignore him. And if they keep going at it, tell the principal or go to the advisor. And that should really solve the problem.
What if there's somebody like in the class picking on you and your teacher they don't believe you because they think you're picking on them first, or since you're like a bad kid, as they say, they don't believe you and they always think that you're doing something to them?
The person to move away from, because you're not finna mess up my day because you having a bad day trying to pick on me. And if it gets to the point where they just keep messing with you, go to a counselor or someone who isn't the teacher. Because if the teacher's not letting you, but if the teacher's not addressing the situation, then the teacher obviously doesn't really care about it. So go to somebody else with it.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to say go to a counselor. But me as a person, I would say inconvenience them in very little ways. It's not a good strategy, but it's one thing or another. It's either you're going to inconvenience them in very little ways to the point where they're going to move away from you and that situation cannot happen, or you're going to inconvenience the teacher in little ways to the point where they're going to have to actually start paying attention to what you are doing. And in that moment, they will see what's actually happening. And if at that point they really aren't, then that's where you do need to go to higher ups as counselors and other teachers, teachers' assistants. But that's probably should be the first step. But me as a person, that's what I would do.
I'd say handle it as maturely as you can. If they're picking on you, your first duty is to tell them to stop and let them know that you're not agreeing with this. And if they don't stop, then I wouldn't say put my hands on them, but you can let them know that something's going to happen. But if it keeps going on, let the teacher know, let the teacher show them signs of what's going to happen or when it usually happens, so they have a heads up on it. If they don't listen, go to a higher up, a counselor, a principal, or even a board of education for that.
I would say 8 times out of 10, teachers or counselors are not going to do anything. Like, they're not going to do anything. So I would advise show them that you're not scared. Like even if you getting jumped or something, like if you fight back, they're not going. In my experience, they're not going to really mess with you anymore. You just show them you're not scared, then their attention is over with. You know what I mean? And then two, get you a group of friends that's, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Get you a group of friends and learn how to hit. Because sometimes like adults are not gonna, at least like in the school building, like they're not gonna really do anything. So get you a group of friends, show them you're not scared. So if they try you, they try you. Even if you can like fake it, you know what I mean? Like even if you can't hit, just you know what I'm saying? Just you gotta show them you're not scared because they're not back off. Because if you just keep stop, they're just gonna keep doing it. So you like stop, bro, or you actually hit them, and you might be good. That's my advice.
Kind of tailing off what he said, surrounding yourself with like-minded people eliminates that situation a lot of the time. But also, you said that you told your teacher, when you're telling your teacher, your counselor, your principals, have documentation of it so that they can see that you've been trying to reach out and get help for the issue.
In this next phase of y'all life of y'all moving forward, did you have any doubts or any fears? And if you did, what methods did you have to take with yourself to overcome them doubts or those fears?
So I have a verse tattooed on my arm, which is Luke 137, and it quotes, "For nothing will be impossible with God." So as long as I trust in myself and trust in the Lord, I believe that any situation I'll be able to get through, any adversity I'll be able to get through. And at the end of the day, I have to realize that I'm in this battle with myself. People are gonna come and go, but at the end of the day, it is solo for a lot of the battle, and just keeping true to yourself and your morals will help you a lot.
I would say fear and doubt. That's natural, but this year, especially my senior year, it's been a lot of ups and downs. So I've tried to become a way more positive person, and I've realized life is just gonna life, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I've tried to just remain positive and just work. And I'm a big big believer in manifestation. If you pray and work towards it, and you do what you're supposed to do, you don't take no shortcuts. It'll all work out. No matter if it's on God's time or your time, it's gonna work out. So I've been trying to be better about that.
There's always been doubts and fears, but I try my best to have a positive mindset going in whatever situation I can, and trusting, of course, God, and then my peers around me and my support team. So as long as I trust myself, my support team, and God, I can get through anything.
Definitely support team. The main doubt that I had going into this was, I'm going to be honest, when I transferred here during my junior year, I really did not think I was going to be finishing high school. I thought I was going to end up dropping out midway through my junior year. But having a good community around you, keeping yourself busy is one thing, because if you're busy with one thing, you can't really think about the doubts and fears that you're going to have, and that really becomes a later subject. And by the time you actually get to that, you most likely overcome it, or you're already too far into it to be giving up.
I say with dealing with fears and doubts, you just really have to do it and just overcome, because fear is something that's constructed in your head. Of course, you're always going to have it, but to get over it, you're just going to need to do it and get it over with.
Did y'all learn the hard way, or did y'all take advice from those? Like, would y'all feel like you learned the hard way to get where you're at, or did you listen to those kind of guiding you? You know what I'm saying? Because, you can you're going to get that way two ways. You're going to listen to those ahead of you, you're going to learn the hard way. How did y'all kind of get to where you're at? Learn the hard way or listening?
Okay, yeah, my dad said this is going to happen, but, like, is it really going to happen? So it was really me being curious and testing it out. And half of the time it happened, and half of the time it didn't happen.
Gonna have to agree, it's a big mix of both. Personally, on my personal aspect and career-wise, I did not listen to nobody. I did what I wanted to do and freelanced it. It's worked out, but as I went through that, I did realize there are some things that you are going to have to listen to. School-wise, that is one place where it was instilled in me to my grandmother to listen, even if you don't want to, because one way or another, it's either you're not going to need the skills, but it's useful to have them, or you're going to need the skills and you weren't listening and you don't have them.
I'd say a mixture of both, but the main thing was learning from advice. But some advice has kept me from learning the hard way, which is I'm appreciative of that. But some events, you're going to learn the hard way whether you like it or not. But that also builds character and builds knowledge on what to do afterwards, or if you encounter that same situation again.
I would say I've had some pretty good leaders and mentors around me, so I've been, for the most part, steered away from learning the hard way, even though I am a mess around and find out type of person. So yeah, especially my father, he's an older person, so he giving me a lot of life lessons. So yeah.
I'm a mixture of both as well, but mainly the find out the hard way, just because when people tell me advice, it always, not always, but a lot of the time it lacks the story behind it. So I always receive a no, but I can't understand why. And if I experience why certain things cannot happen or certain things shouldn't happen, I learn better that way. But as I got older, instead of just doing things just because I basically off of impulse, I started working on a risk versus reward type of system. So I weigh all the risk and what could outcome from it. And if I feel like if I'm able to live comfortably with those consequences, I'll still carry out that action.
So what I'm going to ask you all, a lot of times I dealt with first time in college, first generation black students. They were the first in their families to go to college. So I don't know if you guys, you can tell me whether your relatives went to college or not. If they did, what did you learn from them and a knowledge of them going to school? What did you gain from that for your outlook on things?
Majority of the adults that I've been surrounded with since I've been growing up have been educated past high school, whether that was going to a specialized school like a trade school, or they went to college, received a bachelor's, a master's, or in some cases a doctorate. But the biggest thing for me was just seeing how different levels of education separate you from those who stop maybe at their bachelor's, and just seeing the difference between somebody with just a bachelor's degree and a doctorate degree. It just opens a lot more doors. And even if you're not using it, you have the education, so you'll always qualify for a lot more just because of the time that you put in and the work that you put in to educate yourself, not only in what you want to do, but with life in general.
I would say the same. From both sides of my family, I can't think of one person that doesn't at least have a bachelor's. My grandmother was a principal in the Chicago public school system for about 20 years. My father's a dentist. The list goes on. So I pretty much, obviously I couldn't be that one guy not to go to college anyway. But they've also instilled in me that education is important, and at least if you know what you want to do. So I would, yeah.
Most, if not all, of my family members have been to college. Even if they didn't finish it, they've been, experienced it, and had some education in it. And since I was a young kid, they've always been instilling knowledge on me and advice on how to do good in school, whether you're in elementary or high school, because it always pays off in college. If you have a higher education going into college, it's kind of like a head start, so you have better knowledge or better opportunities than other people. And it was just cool to see that different people come from different colleges, different backgrounds, but they all come back they come back in one group together to spread knowledge to the youth.
I know my mother and father have gone to college. I don't fully know about I know one of my grandparents did go to college. I don't know about the other side, but from what I've seen, it's definitely going to change your technical aspect in life. And as you said, budgeting, that's something that my mom has gotten me into much earlier, especially for the college. My dad's done a bit of teaching and bit of note taking and discipline, because he said those are going to be really important when it comes to college, and making sure you get your work done. And as you said, making sure your budget stays straight so you're not having to skip certain things that you might need in the future to get certain other things that you really don't need currently.
I say mainly on my mom's and dad's side, mainly everyone has been to college, or even if they didn't really finish it, they've at least been to college to get the experience and get the knowledge and try and pass it on to me and just tell me, like, really, because it starts your freshman year building your GPA. Because if you slack off your freshman year, you're going to have a hard time building up your GPA back from your sophomore to your senior year.
Repeat after me. I'm a link in this chain. And it won't break here. I'm a link in this chain. And it won't break here. We are links in this chain. And we won't break here. Ashe.